So I wanted to come on here because I've been watching some videos lately to where basically I've seen people like Mad Little Pixel and others talk about these and Metal Jesus Rocks and all them talk about these mini PCs and everything. And I look at these and I know that they might cost a lot just to own. Maybe as I just check something right there, I have my security camera on. My mom's sleeping right now, so I got an opportunity to do this while I can. But anyway, like I said, I listened to what they say, talk about these mini PCs, and some of them say they work good and everything. That they have everything updated, or they will have everything updated once you get like the firmware downloaded and or certain certain software downloaded for it, like Windows 11, and all that, as well as some gaming, firmware updates that you need if you're using it for gaming. But it really got me thinking, you know, and it's hard to believe how far we've come with computer technology. I mean, what I have in front of me right now, that you can see in the reflection of my glasses, my laptop, you know, um, that's a step in evolution, because when computers first started, let's be honest, they weren't as portable as we would hope they would be. I mean, we all remember the Cube, like PCs, the Apples and the very early Windows and other early versions of HP computers and Dell computers that would come out, and you know we we would have to leave them at home and not be able to take them with us because well, they weren't portable. And then of course over time you had certain companies try to get around that, like James Rolfe. you know he I remember he did his video several years ago on the Game Boy and the accessories that kind of helped it keep it alive and relevant for basically 20, what was it, 13 years, 13, 14 years. And one of them he talked about that he couldn't get his hands on was the Work Boy, which was basically, a portable keyboard that you would connect to the Game Boy, and then I guess use some kind of special cartridge to do work on it, as if it was a portable computer. But you know, outside of that, we couldn't really, have computers with us to take on the go. Nowadays, of course, we have like what I have, an HP notebook, or we have Dell notebooks, or we have Chromebooks, or we have Stream notebooks, or you know, um, or even tablets that convert into little mini PCs, or little mini laptops, if you will, and everything. Or even nowadays, you can go out and buy a keyboard with Bluetooth on it and have it read exactly, have it read the signal that you're sending to it, I should say, exactly to, let's say, your tablet or your Amazon Fire, if those things are still going, or whatever. You have that technology now to where you could actually, even with your phone, like what I'm watching right now with the security camera, even with your phone, or even on your TV, if you will, you have the capabilities. If your TV has, let's say, internet, which smart TV nowadays doesn't have internet, you could type up, basically anything you want to search for with a keyboard, and that's amazing. That is amazing to really think about. And nowadays we have these mini PCs, that have been popping up in the past, what, few years, if you will, that not only are equipped, with the latest, Windows or Linux software, or whatever you call it, Apple software, within it, but but basically now you have these PCs, these mini PCs that you could take with you on the go. You could take with you anywhere you go, and you could hook up not just to a monitor or anything like that, you know, or even your laptop if you want an external, I guess you could say a hard drive or an external like PC connection, but you can connect it to your TVs and stuff like that and have whatever you have saved on there with you on the go, which I think is amazing. I think it's really amazing. And to me, this is just more further proof that technology is just going to evolve and evolve whether we like it or not. I mean, I understand what's going on with the writers and the actors, and I get the fact that they don't want technology with through AI and all that to evolve to a point that they're out of a job. I don't wish that on anybody, but we have to recognize that even if they get a deal which is more suitable for them on both ends done, I think everybody still has to acknowledge the fact that basically technology is going to keep evolving no matter what. No matter what kind of deals get made or whatever, technology is going to evolve. And these mini PCs are just good examples of that because now you could take your work with you on the go. Now, true, no doubt, some of these mini PCs are created by companies that we may have not really heard of or may have just come into the spotlight recently. But obviously, from what people like Mad Little Pixel and Metal Jesus Rocks are saying, you know, these PCs have definitely lived up to the billing. I mean, true, are there still some bugs that need to be worked out, some things that still need to be, you know, um, I guess you could say twitched around with, kind of fixed and all that? Yeah. I mean, what new product, especially if it's the next step in evolution for, let's say, PCs, excuse me, which one doesn't have those kind of issues that need to be patched up or taken care of? A lot do. But to me, it's just amazing to know how far we've come. I mean, I still have what my what my I guess you can say my financial counselor, independent financial counselor back in Kansas, called one time the Beast because I rented it from Renter Center, and it cost me in all totalness about a little over 1,000. And this was around the early to mid 2000s, if you will, when I needed a PC because I didn't have one when I first moved in there, and I wanted to have one so I can look online for stuff without having to travel back and forth to Independence Inc. in Lawrence, Kansas. So I wanted to have one with me to be able to look online. And thank God I was able to get that and be able to rent it as much as I could. But, I look at that tower to that PC, which still works, by the way. It still has a lot of history on it. I look at that and I am just amazed. I am just amazed at, how far, you know, how far basically technology has come now. Because, like I said, right here in front of me, I have a PC that I've had for almost 7 years. 7 years this year. And it's still going strong, thank the Lord. And yeah, maybe over time, me and my mom are going to look into backup PCs, laptops, and everything down the line because hers right now, which is a Stream notebook, it's the same kind of Stream notebook that kind of conked out on me, 6, 7 years ago. But she has a Stream notebook. It's still working and everything. It just basically is the kind of notebook that because it doesn't have terabyte saving, terabyte built in or something like that, like mine does. You know, Basically, you know, it ends up saving, or not saving, but it ends up using space because of its flash saving. It's an EMC flash card kind of thing. It's like the gigabytes are there, but they're more taken up by, the flash, by basically a lot of the stuff, a lot of the backups, being, stored up in the cache areas more than anything. But like I said, it's hard to believe when I look at that tower I have in the garage, and then I look at it, and I look what I have in front of me, look at my mom has, and everything. Which again, this is why me and her always considering getting backups in the future because, as I was saying, hers is kind of like at the point to where now, when she has to do her bi-weekly EDD during the summer, like I have to do mine until I go back to work. Um, she has to use my. We have to do it on my computer because since EDD kind of updated their site and everything, she can't log in there like she used to. It's like it's not letting her do it from that Stream notebook, but from here it allows her to do it. So so I don't know what the issue is. But the point that I'm getting at though is, I look at that evolution at the fact that we go from a tower like that to something like this and everything, and what she has, to now I'm seeing people like Metal Jesus Rocks and Mad Little Pixel, basically doing videos talking about, these mini PCs, which basically are, from a size perspective, are about as big as this, maybe a little bigger, or as, or should I say, as big as the Xfinity modem. From a size comparison, width wise, like height wise, it's big. It's like I said, it's the size of an Xfinity modem. Width wise, it's a little bit bigger, but still, it's hard to believe we've come that far. Now, obviously, you know, um, excuse me, I'm just taking something on both ends there. Now, obviously, do they cost a lot? It depends. I mean, if I was to look up Amazon right now without any issues and everything, if I was to look this up, the mini PCs, according to some of these, like I think some of these are what they talked about. Like some of these still have Windows Pro and everything, but some of them cost like one here, the B-Link AMD Ryzen 5, with a 5500U processor up to 4.2 gigahertz and everything. This cost about, basically, because it's got 500 gigabytes of disk size and 16 point gigabytes of RAM, it's 269. Now, the one below it is $89. It has 256 gigabyte of disk size and 8 gigabyte of RAM. And then there's another B-Link, which is basically 500 gigabytes, of disk size and 16 gigabytes of RAM, and so on. So they are affordable. The ones that obviously have Windows 10 still installed in them, but the ones that have like Windows 11, they're pretty affordable. Like this one by Geek which I think is one they talked about, is $129.99. So yeah, they are affordable, but over time, depending on how much you really want with it and everything, from different size perspectives, um, they can get pricey and everything. But obviously, they are affordable enough if you have the money to get them. But yeah, it's just amazing to see, like I said, how far we have come in technology when it comes to PCs and computers. Because now you can have a PC on the go, basically, whenever you want it. Especially, let's say you're going on a trip and you need to get on your computer or something like that, and the only thing you have with you is your PC. It's amazing to know that you'll be able to take all your work that's compact in that one little thing with you. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on that, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the mini PC evolution, and how much further do you think we're going to go in technology.